What's it about the culture and what you see from that culture on the tape of UCF going from coach to coach to coach over the last several years, where they've maintained that high level and actually even taken it up another notch defensively to a team that was already so good offensively?
With it, I'm trying to just go back to Coach O'Leary, but maybe you just go from Coach O'Leary, I think Scott Frost was next, obviously to now. And Heupel, was in there. A lot of good coaches, great coaches, and they've had a lot of good players. And I've always said that's a bad, combination for us. Really good coaches, good players, and I think that's been the big issue, big reason they've had this success. Guys that are, good coaches, and it's a lot of talent down there in Orlando area, Central Florida. There's a lot of talent down there, and they've done a good job recruiting this year, getting guys in, and so they've done a nice job building their program.
What have you seen from them in these recent weeks where they've really turned things on and almost looked like a different team than they looked like early in the season?
They're high octane. They can run the ball and hurt you so many different ways. Perimeter, they can throw the ball deep. They got speed everywhere. Quarterback, running back, receivers, big and athletic line. Super athletic on defense. So that's the thing I've seen. Just they've picked it up a notch. I say that they scored 70-something against Temple, but they're such high octane, and Gus is super creative on offense. So he's got a lot of different ways to hurt you with different runs and play passes, RPO. He's just got so many different things. It's kind of a fun offense to watch on TV. I don't like seeing it from the sideline though.
Yeah. Could this be the toughest environment that you possibly play in on the road this year? What they call their bounce house?
Yeah, probably. Cincinnati's won 30 straight games at home. that's a tough place to do too. But probably, this will be a tough environment.
Thanks, Coach.
So you've played really tight against some real heavyweight teams, SMU, Cincy, Notre Dame. What would it mean to the program if you could beat Central Florida on the road? Do you think that could really be a huge confidence lift going into your biggest game of the year to finally get over the hump and get one of these games?
No doubt, Wags. You hit it right on the head. It's kind of like we get to the top of the mountain, and then we tumble back down. We climb, and we're right at the top and tumble back down. It would be awesome for our program, for our seniors, for our team to be able to get over the hump. Obviously, catapult us to the next one, but we're not thinking about that. It'll just be a byproduct, as you said, of winning that game. We got to put all of our focus on UCF. They're the best team in our league right now, and so we know this is going to be a great challenge. At third place, they're playing really well right now, but I agree with it. Just hopefully, though, these last couple of games will tell our guys we can play with these people. Have trust and believe in your teammates, trust and believe in the scheme, trust and believe in your own abilities. We can play with these people, and we're getting ready to play another talented team. It's going to be really, really hard to beat, but we just got to continue to stick to our formula, just like we did last. We had the ball almost 40 minutes, keep them off the field. Fortunately, last year we scored, after, which we got to do this time. We got to eat the clock and score. And, I wasn't too happy, obviously, the end of the first half of last week, but I'm also not happy to start the second half. We had that long drive, but we got to come more than 3 points. You use 11 minutes and get 3 points. We can't do that against these guys. They're so explosive, Wags. They got speed. they got. These guys give you wind burns, man. They got speed coming all over the place. Just so a couple weeks ago, getting ready for Cincinnati, and had the dubious task of watching it versus UCF. I'm like, oh my gosh, you just trying to get ready for UCF, and then you see them. I'm like, hey, we'll worry about that, monster when we get to. We got to face this monster, but yeah, it's gonna be a tough challenge. But it would be a awesome for us, and we're hopeful. And our kids are believing, and hopefully have another great week of practice and be ready to go down to Central Florida and give it our best.
Coach, for UCF, they've had success with both Keene and Plumlee, but what's the dynamic of Plumlee's running ability? Just what does that do to their offense, certainly in preparation for it, because he adds such an explosive element in the running game?
Yeah, when your quarterback runs, it just adds another gap. It just adds more, you need another hat. We faced some fast guys with Tune and Mordecai. Mordecai could fly. Fortunately, they're a throwing team, but because, they're a running team and they're got a lot of weapons that they can use, probably being able to run, it just stretches you all over the place. You know what I mean? Pete, they stretch you horizontally and vertically with their speed. And yeah, it's as we speak right now, Coach Newberry's a couple offices down there watching film right now. It's gonna be a tall order for us because of all the problems present, especially at the quarterback position.
Yeah, I was going to say that 87-yard run. I mean, set the tone right away for them against Tulane, the other night. On the other side, Johnson at linebacker, Morris Brash along the defensive line. That guy plays like a monster. All the hullabaloo around Gus and the offense, I almost think over the last couple of years, and maybe even longer than that, I don't think UCF necessarily maybe gets the proper credit on the defensive side of the ball. They've done a solid job, but especially those two guys. And as you evaluate the defense, certainly what kind of challenges do they present this week?
I agree with you, Pete. I mean, they're known for Gus's offense, and they need to be. I mean, they're high octane. They score a ton of points in bunches, but they are really good on defense. Be where they're at right now was, against Cincinnati. They got some turnovers last week, and so it's their defense is playing really well too.
Coach, it's an 11 a.m. start. Do you think with the early start, this is a benefit to your program since the mids are used to such an early schedule?
I hope so. And I hope the UCF is not used to early starts, but nowadays everybody, you do things early in football, but yes, we're normally up early starters here. And so with that said, we got off to a slow start last week into 12 a.m. start off. So I'm hoping we get to a fast start. I've been saying it for 10, 11 straight games. And hopefully this will be one of the games like we did in Tulsa, get off to a fast start.